Good evening. I'd like to call the Oregon City Council regular meeting for August 10th. The time is 7 p.m. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Ms. Snyder, please take roll call on council members, please.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Here.
Mr. Andrus?
Here.
Mr. Drake?
Here.
Mr. Gibbs?
Here.
Mr. Horniak?
Here.
Mrs. Paula?
Here.
Mr. Wallensack?
Here.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Snyder. Please note all of council are here tonight. Also in attendance is Mayor Stephen Solander, Clerk of Council Josette Snyder, Law Director China Pfeiffer, Public Service Director Paul Roman, Police Chief Ryan Spangler, Fire Chief Clayton O'Brien, and Finance Director Nick Roman, also Building and Zoning, Mr. Steve Schrake. Okay, nobody else? Okay, the next order of business is to approve the minutes from July 27th, 2026 regular meeting and August 3rd, Committee of the Whole 2026. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Horniak.
I move to approve the minutes of the July 27th regular and August 3rd Committee of the Whole meeting as presented.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Horniak. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Horniak, seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Thank you. Does anyone have any objections with the items being accepted? Okay, next on the agenda is persons and delegates. You have 5 minutes. There's a lot of people, so please keep it to 5 minutes. Unfortunately, if we allow more, it's just it creates a lot of problems. So keep it short and sweet, talk fast, and do the best you can, all right? And also, please, when citizens are speaking, it goes for everybody in here, not just you guys, people up here. Please be courteous. No sidebars. It's very distracting. I hear it from a lot of citizens after a meeting. I just be courteous. That's all I ask. And other than that, done with that part. First up is Mrs. Michelle Quilter. Mrs. Quilter, please state when you speak your name and address, please. Thank you.
My name, Michelle Quilter. I live at 4810 South Teal Lane. Honorable Mayor, council members, city officials, and guests. I'm here tonight to represent the Oregon Jerusalem Historical Society. Being from the 1976 bicentennial class of Clay High School, and by the way, the largest class to ever walk its halls, we will celebrate our 50th class reunion this September. Remembering what a big year it was with all of the red, white, and blue, fellow classmates and core OJHS members, Linda Rossler, Kitty Sternberg, Cindy Reynolds, and myself, wanted to do something really big at the Oregon Jerusalem Historical Society for the community. So last fall, we formed a steering committee for ideas and developed collaborations with the City of Oregon's Rec Department, Oregon City Schools, the Oregon Economic Development Foundation, and the Eastern Maumee Bay Chamber of Commerce. Once we had all of our ideas in place, we asked our industrial neighbor, who shares 125 years of history with us, Toledo Refining Company, to sponsor an entire year of America 250 programs and activities. Without hesitation, they did, and we are so grateful. The year has been going beautifully. We've had life enrichment classes, We started our year-long speaker series. We had a Martha Washington tea, and we participated in the regional Time Traveler's Passport Adventure, along with 11 other museums, to promote local history in Lucas, Wood, and Fulton counties. We welcomed many guests who finally crossed the river to explore our side of town. The year is only half over, and we're here tonight to give you a packet of information on what you can expect from us the rest of the year. Starting this week with the Threads of History Quilt Show, which will kick off Thursday through Saturday at Brandville School Museum. We have more than 130 quilted items on display, some as old as the 19th century, some brand new, and some that actually won previous awards. Each quilt has a story to share. The hours are 10 to 5, and we'll have a 2 p.m. historical lecture each day and a food truck on site for anyone who wants to come over for lunch. We've advertised statewide, and we've promoted this event regionally and locally. If we've done this right, we could have as many as 200 to 300 people coming to our show each day. So in the essence of time, we leave you this folder with a remainder of activities for our year's docket. We want to remind you that we will be coming back towards November when we talk about the OJHS Community Christmas, that the City of Oregon gets involved with us. But I would like to leave you with 2 quilt stories that I think you'll find interesting. This little quilt here. It's called a sampler. It was made in 1895 by a lady by the name of Anna Getz. She came to this country in 1890, and she was the in-law of John Flights, the original Flights from Flights Pumpkin Farm, okay? John Flights and his wife built her and her sister a little home, which still stands, the little white house right there on their property. The 2 ladies never married. And what is so interesting about this particular little sampler, she made this when she was in Germany, practicing her alphabet and her numbers for when she moved to the United States. Now, if you'll take a look at your packet, we were in the paper today.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Quilter.
You can read the article.
Your time's up. Thank you, I appreciate it.
No problem. And we have to leave. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
It all worked out then, thank you. I don't feel as bad. All right. If you give me one, I might stop by and help you. Thank you. Okay, next up is Connie Trudell. Ms. Trudell.
Connie Trudell, 5046 Dove Road. During the past 3 months, I've had the opportunity and privilege to connect with numerous members of our community as I've assisted with collecting signatures, first with the State of Ohio Data Center petition and most recently with the City of Oregon Charter Amendment petition. There have been common themes and concerns raised by our fellow citizens. First, residents have stated that they do not feel that their voices have been heard. They feel that the power and money behind those in support of the data center project in our community are doing the talking and drowning out their voices. Second, residents have expressed distrust of the previous city administration and city council based upon incidents of recent times, and some were not shy about sharing names. I feel this lack of trust in our local government is unfortunate, as I know there are current members of our city administration and our city council who are striving to honorably serve our community. Sadly, the dishonorable deeds of some adversely affect all of us. I want to thank Mayor Salander and the members of his team who are cooperating with his efforts to lead with integrity. I know that the issues facing our community cannot be resolved overnight, and I remain hopeful that we can make progress toward achieving goals for our community in a more unified and honorable manner. I have some questions, and I'm requesting that Mayor Salander have the first opportunity to answer these questions as he is able prior to anyone else commenting, and I can repeat the questions as necessary for Mayor Salander. First, why was Mr. Horniak chosen as a replacement for Mr. Waldenczak on the Economic Committee when there are other equally qualified city council members to serve in this role? Who made this decision? Second, why was Mr. Horniak the only city council member chosen to be present at the meeting held on July 28, 2026 with the data center developer, the end user, and other public officials? Who made this decision? Did Mayor Salander invite Mr. Horniak to be present? 3, we have heard that the City of Toledo has been approached by the data center developer and end user to purchase property east of Wynn Road for the data center construction where the water reservoir was proposed to be located. Is this true? And number 4, when can we expect the Citizen Advisory Board to begin meeting?
Mr. President?
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Trudeau, so we'll start with number 1. Why was he chosen for the economic development? The only thing that I can say really on that is that the reason why Mr. Wallensack was not, or is not currently, is because he had a conflict.
Right, I know that.
So it was going to be a little hard for him to have any committee meetings or
Right.
anything else like that with that.
Yeah.
Mr. Horniak was the previous economic development chair prior to this year. So I assume that that would be the why he would, the flip-flop, because they were flip-flopped when they came in between committees, and correct me if I'm wrong. But so it was basically flip-flopping it back.
Okay.
So why exactly initially, I truly don't know why.
Okay.
Invited to the EDA meeting, he was not invited by me.
Okay.
The last email that I had was that I had a say as far as who were the attendees of the meeting, and I was unaware. So
Who made that decision?
I don't know.
Okay. And why were other city council members not present? And only
Initially, we had decided that it truly was just more of a meet and greet kind of meeting at that point in time, where they talked about the Vantage and about that company and the preliminary site design. That was pretty much the extent of the meeting. There was not going to be any negotiating or anything else like that during that meeting. That was not the purpose of the meeting. So at that point in time, we had discussed it, and we had, when I say we, I'm speaking of Brody and I, and had decided that truthfully, you could argue that any of the council members or any of the committees would be equally important as economic development because of the broad impact.
Yes.
So at that time, we thought, well, being what this meeting is and expected to be, then we would not have council members present at that initial meeting.
Okay.
So I was not expecting until when he walked in.
Okay.
Number 3, east of Wynn, was speaking with Toledo. I don't know if the developers spoke to Toledo or not. I also had heard that they spoke. I do not know if that is the case or not.
Okay.
As I previously stated in the past, as well as with proclamation, I am completely 100%, 200% opposed to crossing Wynn.
Right.
And I would not be in support of that and do anything I'm not interested in moving anything across Wynn.
Okay.
Number 4, Citizen Advisory Board. I actually just spoke to some people today. I want to get a date. My plan is to get a date next week for us to initially have a meeting to kind of discuss kind of the rules of the road, if you will, my expectations of the group and how we're going to operate, and just how I expect members of the group also to treat each other.
Okay.
So that's kind of initial setting the ground rules. My plan is to have that next week. I just don't have an exact date or time, but we'll get one selected, and this week we'll set that up.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Trudell.
Mr.
Thank you.
Drake.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Horniak.
Mr. Drake, I do want to respond to that because I don't know that all the information is out there. Originally, when the meeting was proposed by Mr. Turner that they were coming in, he had called me and asked me to come to that meeting. I had told him to work it out through the administration and figure out what they wanted to do when, because I knew I would have an opportunity to meet him sometime later that day. On, I believe it was Friday afternoon, I received a phone call from Mr. Walters that he had a discussion with you, and that due to the conflicts from Mr. Wallenczak from the Economic Development, that they would like me to switch back, and as the chair of the Economic Development Committee, they would like me at that meeting. So that is how I came to be at that meeting.
Okay, yeah, because I was not told that you were going to be at the meeting, so,
I had not intended to be at the meeting until I
Okay.
received that phone call.
okay,
The last I talked to Will Turner was I would not be at that meeting, but I would take the opportunity to meet them later that day, which I was only available till like noon that day. And was invited by Mr. Walters
Okay.
and by Mr. Turner.
all right, I was unaware. of
So yeah,
the invite.
I didn't just drop into the meeting.
Okay. That-
Yeah.
Again, I was unaware. The last email I have between us was that we were not going to have council and that it was the mayor's decision who was going to attend. So I'll talk to Mr. Walters. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Horniak. Next up to speak is Mr. Jim Ellerbush. Mr. Ellerbush.
Jim Ellerbush, 39 Cedarwood Drive. Thank you, Council President. Tonight, I want to do just a brief comparison between a float glass plant in Lucky and our proposed data center. The float glass plant occupies a 522-acre parcel. The data center will be confined to about 176 acres. The glass plant is multiple stories tall with stacks, towers, and storage tanks surrounding it. The data center will be 2 stories with a campus-like setting. The glass plant site sat at local water level heights, so 700,000 cubic yards of fill was trucked in to raise it. Sounds like a lot of lost wetland to me. The glass plant has a melt capacity of 600 tons per day, requiring 2 rail spurs to be added. The data center doesn't require rail spurs. Its products come in via fiber optic cables and satellite feeds. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't hear it. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know how many gallons of fuel is burned every day to mine that 600 tons or how much CO2 and other pollutants are produced in the process. The finished product would require at least 27 semi-trucks every day to haul off-site. And again, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know how much pollutants that's putting in the air. A 138 kV substation was installed to power the plant, about enough to power 4,000 homes. A high-pressure natural gas line with a 1,350 PSI was installed to help melt product. Your home uses about 1/4 of 1 pound. Again, I'm not an engineer, so I can't tell you how many tons of pollutants are going into the atmosphere every day when they use this plant. The data center will only use gas for its generators if the grid fails. The glass plant has 2 Kohler 2 megawatt diesel generators using 300 gallons of diesel fuel per day in case the grid fails. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellerbush. Next up is Mrs. Lynn Gibbs. Mrs. Gibbs.
Lynn Gibbs, 3145 Dogwood. I'm here to talk about a potential danger in my neighborhood. I want to give these to you, and you can pass them out if
Okay.
you want to.
Thank you.
So we live in the East Hampton neighborhood, and we have yield signs there and stop signs, very few stop signs, mostly yield signs. And we have a lot of people that don't listen to that yield. So we're having a lot of close calls. And our neighborhood has changed. There's a lot of toddlers. I have 3 toddlers on my street right now. We have people pushing baby carriages. We have e-bikes that are problems. And I did talk to a council person who's on the streets department a while ago. I have not heard back from any of that. But the little X marks on your sheet are yield signs, and the red X are stop signs. So if you look down at Hazelton, Northreach, and Cromwell, those are always a series of yields. So the people coming off those streets feel like they have a choice to stop or not stop, and they're not stopping. So Paul and I have recently experienced at least 2 or 3 times where we've almost gotten hit. I have a letter from Janet Free, who lives behind this neighborhood, and this is her testimony. I was headed north on East Hampton. A woman, DoorDasher, was headed west on Hazelton en route to her delivery. She never yielded at the yield sign. She was going faster than the speed limit. She smashed in the right side of my car with such force that she pushed me into the curb. There were no skid marks showing that she even attempted to brake. My car was completely totaled that day. I have been with a doctor ever since her car was totaled. I think stop signs should be on the crossroads on East Moreland because drivers are not paying attention to the yield sign. I agree with that 100%. You're also going to hear from another woman who had an accident there. So I'm asking for the city's help to please come to my neighborhood, do whatever you've got to do. I'm not an engineer, but I don't want to see some little kid get hit on an e-bike or some mom with pushing a baby or holding a toddler. So I think it's a very dangerous situation, and I'm asking you to help me with it, please.
Okay, Mrs. Gibbs?
Mr. President.
Mrs. Gibbs, can I ask you a question, please? It's probably not a good one. The yellow X's, are those yield signs?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right. Who?
Mr. President.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes, several months ago, I did send an email to Rodney Schultz and with a map showing the concerns that were brought forth at this, at a council meeting at that time. I did reach out to Rodney Schultz today, and he said that within the next several council meetings, something will be brought before council to address the safety issue. So it is in the works. It is coming. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andrus. Somebody else, I think, chirped in?
I just wanted to confirm that too. I know I
Roman?
did a field review as well, and we looked at it, and we felt comfortable that, you know, I think we try to use yields when there's no accidents in a certain area, and then, you know, if there is 1 or 2, then it is a question of do you make a change? But it is like a natural stop. East Hampton is the through street. It's known to be the through street. It makes sense to put the stop signs in, so we are planning that. We are looking at other intersections as well, especially with the changes made in the state code. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roman. Okay, next up is Mr. Mark Klatt. Mr. Klatt. Does anybody know Mark? All right, we'll move on. Okay, we'll come back to him then. Thank you. Next is Evan Morrison. Mr. Morrison. Okay, there he is. Are you Kevin or Mark? Okay.
Sorry, that wasn't supposed to be a dramatic entrance, my apologies.
All right.
Mayor, council president, council members, my name is Evan Morrison. I'm the political director for International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 8. Our hall is 807 Lime City Road, Rossford, Ohio. Oregon is within our jurisdiction and represent residents here in the city. For over a year now, we have worked to get a commitment for members to work on the proposed data center here in Oregon because we all play a part in responsible development. Because too often, the construction workforce is overlooked by all parties. Local politicians and development organizations can demand a local workforce and local contractors. Landowners can demand responsible development in the local workforce. The end user themselves can hold themselves to a high standard, but this hasn't happened. Across Ohio, we see end users and general contractors partnering with out-of-state contractors that pay substandard wages, offer poor health care, and no retirement. IBEW Local Union 8 and building trades have presented a path that would create opportunities for recent graduates of local schools to work making good wages, learning our industry while protected by the best safety standards. This path would ensure local skilled workers are employed and we guarantee that our local area standards are honored. We, like the community members who have demanded answers and been rebuffed, delayed, and told no, we have experienced the same issues. We agree with those who have organized against this project that this is a problem. We've been working in our members' interest against these delays and refusals to commit throughout the past year and have reached a breaking point. You must believe people when they tell you who they are. The careers of the members of IBEW Local Union 8 and building trades are in construction and development, and our livelihoods are threatened by bad development. Non-union contractors erode our standards and threaten the safe working conditions and wages in our industry. IBEW 8 and building trades union members will fight any work that brings this erosion to our jurisdiction. A project labor agreement would have ensured that local expectations are met. We call for a project labor agreement to ensure that Oregon has jobs that pay taxes here, that career opportunities are created for young people, and that this community maintains control of development, has their position on the direction of development respected. We cannot allow greed and opportunism to steer development. We have always been part of this community and will be part of this community into the future. And the voice of the community must be followed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Next up is Winona Nutter. Mrs. Nutter.
Winona Nutter, 4454 Bay Shore Road, Oregon. I have 6 questions for the owner of the business that's wanting to open up in Navarre. Are they here to answer questions or?
Yes.
I believe they are.
Yeah, Mr. President.
There will be a public hearing if you wanted to ask
Yeah.
at that
Can I-
time.
Can I ask it then?
Yeah, can you wait till after the hearing? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have told you that. That's my fault. All right. Sorry about that. Next is Mr. Steve Eiler.
Steve Eiler, 1535 Piper. So I'd like to point out a certain phrase that gets thrown around during these discussions recently, and it's the money is the root of all evil. Well, there's a slight problem with that statement. That statement has been twisted over the years, and it's actually a false representation. The line in the Bible actually states, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." That does not necessarily mean that money itself is evil. Like it or not, money is a necessary commodity in modern society. We simply cannot continue to pretend that this city either does not now or will soon not have financial conditions that are a cause for concern. And that isn't even counting the schools. So what is your plan? If not a data center, then what? And I don't want to hear about the low number of permanent jobs at a data center. The average wage of a Vantage data center employee in the U.S. is roughly $107,000 to $118,000 per year, or around $50 an hour, and can reach upwards of $175,000 a year depending on specific job. That's roughly $63,000 in income tax to the city based on 25 employees at $112,000 a year. The people complaining about the lack of jobs at a data center are the same ones loudly cheering for an Ollie's bargain store. Ironically, the average wage of an Ollie's employee is $12 to $19 per hour. The store manager can make up to $59,000 per year. Ollie's averages 15 to 25 employees per store. Even at 25 employees, at the top end of $19 an hour, working 40 hours a week, which, let's be honest, most of those employees would probably be part-time, that's roughly $22,000 in income tax to the city, not even close to being comparable. And this doesn't include the revenue from the construction phase and the potential long-term revenue stream from the pilot agreement. There's been a lot of talk stating the citizens don't want a data center, but just who are the citizens? It would appear that certain groups believe themselves to be the embodiment of the citizens. And believe me, if you happen to not agree with their stance, you will know about it. You will be told, quote, you could volunteer to stop eating to save resources for data centers and save fertilizer, win-win. Or, quote, why don't you and the former mayor jump off the high-level bridge? Stop being a bully like the former mayor. Apparently having a different opinion means you should not exist to some people. Oh, and in case anyone is wondering, one of those statements was made by a sitting member of council. But it's okay, because according to her, my hatred for her is palpable. Second, imagine telling someone to stop being a bully in the same breath as telling them to jump off a bridge. So let's talk the charter change. Do people realize the dangerous path we are going down here? The precedents this would set could be catastrophic. Not only does this destroy the premise of representative government, it has the potential to stifle any serious growth from ever occurring in this city. This would open the door to anyone and everyone to starting a petition and potentially blocking any investment in this city because of the quote, "not in my backyard" mentality. And just food for thought, could it be that certain council members and a certain mayor have been so tight with a certain group and so supportive of their petition drive because it would mean that they don't have to go on the record as being the ones who turned down a potential financial windfall? They could just say, hey, it wasn't us, it was the citizens. Kind of seems that way. I could go on, but I will end by asking this again. If not a data center, then what? Tell us your solution. I strongly urge the citizens to vote this charter amendment down. I strongly urge the council to continue to move this project forward. Because the way I see it, Oregon has not come this far to only come this far.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eilers. Next up is Kristen Helly. Ms. Helly.
Kristen Helly, and I'm here on behalf of 1047 Patchen. I'm the woman that owns it. Like most people in Oregon, I believe, I was born and raised here, 6th generation Oregonian to be exact. I bought a property as an investment into our community back in 2017. I wanted to buy a property in an area that I felt needed the most improvement. I personally tore down 2 houses and 1 garage with the intent to build a beautiful 4-bedroom home. I obtained the necessary approved permits, and I hoped that the city would be excited about somebody spending their personal time and money, but that's not what happened. I had one problem after the next, with very little communication. I was hung up on by the building department commissioner. I was told by multiple inspectors many times to have the man that was doing the work come in and talk to them so they can straighten everything out. And it ended up to what came to about 12 court dates due to what the city claims was anonymous complaints as I worked on my project. My hopes ended when the city filled in the foundation against my will with very little response back in April of 2025. Last week, many committed to helping me resolve this. For the past week, the goose chase has continued and has ended with more confusion. I don't understand why the residents of Oregon have to constantly question growth. Throughout my project that was demolished by the city, I have been contacted by many people along the way that have had similar experiences with our city building department. I once had a contractor from Indiana tell me that he knew exactly where Oregon was, and unfortunately he was not willing to do any work here because he had had too many issues with the department not following their own ordinances and going by a set of what is called Oregon rules. When I asked for a copy of what the Oregon rules were, I was told that there was nothing in writing, it was just something that the inspectors go by. I think this is inappropriate and unfair to the people that would like a better community and have improvements done. I'm happy to follow any rules and regulations, but I've had a difficult time trying to get the building department to agree on what they are. Last week, I was asked to have a meeting with the building department director, and after multiple attempts, I was degraded to a simple phone call a few hours before this meeting, where I was told nothing I was saying was true. I'm asking for solutions. My question to the room is, who here is incentivized to help the community do things the right way through streamlined processes that don't involve trying to create roadblocks that benefit your friends for votes? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Helly. Next up is Christine Beckman. Mrs. Beckman.
My name is Kristen Beckman, not Christine. My
I'm
address
sorry.
is 3223
Not a good
Dogwood
reader.
Drive. And I just wanted to also follow up on what Lynn said about the yield signs. I live right around the corner from Hazelton in East Hampton. I turned the corner and hit a gentleman who blew through the yield sign last May. There's a police record of it. It was a pretty bad accident. I was, going 1 block's distance. I was getting up to speed and he just came flying through there. He lied obviously about his speed because of where I hit him. And so, nobody was ticketed in that instance, but the same week that that happened, my father-in-law was coming over, almost got hit by somebody blowing a yield sign on one of those 3 streets. My husband has that happen almost all the time. And he's a professional driver. So he's very aware of his surroundings and always looking out for obstacles and things like that. As Lynn mentioned, kids. I have 2 little kids. They're 10 and 7. We are starting to let them ride their bikes around the block more or go with other groups of kids to cross over to go to the elementary school and go play on the playground. I can't trust that they can go safely there without an adult because of the traffic crossing East Hampton. It's all the time. I've rode bikes with them and witnessed somebody almost hitting my 7-year-old daughter. It's just very unsafe. And I'm glad that I heard that you are going to do something about it, but I really urge you to do that very soon. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Beckman. Next is Mr. PJ Caphammer. Mr. Caphammer.
PJ Caphammer, 3646 Navarre Avenue. My opinion, the data center is dead, so it'd be nice when it just clears the room and it's not every day we're fighting on Facebook and everything about a data center. I believe it's dead, and I don't think it's going forward. I would like a solution of how you replace the funding. We spent $9 million on the property, and we sold it, but if it dies, the money's gone. We also spent, and I say we as a city, spent over $1 million in hiring full-time firefighters. You're gonna have to find a solution to pay for them things. So I implore you, and the schools are in real bad shape. If you look at their 5-year forecast, they're in the 5th year, they're $8.5 million negative. They're negative spending now with no fix for more money coming in. So that's gonna be a taxation on us, the citizens, because they're gonna need to pass some kind of levy. I hope that we're not, I know you guys killed the 2.5, increasing the income tax based on getting new revenue a year ago, 2 years ago. That shouldn't be a solution. If the data center's not coming through, I believe it isn't. It can't be taxation of citizens to cover the cost of what you're spending. And I know your costs have increased, payroll's increased, that's normal in this world. But I don't think it should be, with no solution in sight, us paying the bill. I don't want to bail out the schools, I don't want to bail out the city. If we're walking away from $750 million or whatever it is, it shouldn't be passed on us. That's all I'm asking. But I do think the data center's dead, and it'd be nice if we just get back to worrying about yield signs and stop signs and not data center every 10 seconds in the world. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Caphammer. Next is Robert Barnes, Jr.
Hello, Mayor and President and Chamber people. I didn't know that the data center was dead, but I live in Curtis, Ohio, and the reason why I'm here today is I was trying to give a proposal because there are issues that directly affects the Curtis, Ohio area. We have a community that shares the fire department. Oregon Fire and Curtis Fire, they all sit there and respond to each other's areas. So with that being said, if there was a data center placed in, I think that what I submitted to you guys today will sit there and help offset those costs if the data center ends up going through. Not to include, it's gonna, with that stuff going, if that happens, it's gonna indirectly sit there and make the water bill we pay Oregon Water. So that's gonna make our water bills and stuff like that go up. So it's like a extra tax on our community. And I just want to make sure that we sit there and are not fitting the bill for the data center if they end up coming in. And that's the reason why I gave the proposal. That way it stops future levies from going in to pay for the infrastructure costs of if the electricity company has to sit there and upgrade the grid or something like that. I don't think anybody in this room should sit there and have to fit that bill. And over a 25 year span, the direct cost to households would probably be around about $31,000 for households added on, and roughly about $120,000 for businesses. And then what happens with the businesses, they end up sitting there directly passing that on to its consumers. So it's really going back down on to the city members and everybody that sits there is in the community that ends up having to pay for it in the long run. All these costs, I sit there and I can reference and give you Ohio revised codes of where it allows you to sit there and implement these things. Also, the 18th Ohio Amendment, 18th Amendment of the Ohio. That also sits there and covers part of this stuff and stuff like that. I'm a veteran, like I'm just trying to think outside the box. A lot of these members in here, or these people in here, are trying to fight against it. I just know that if it does end up passing, there's going to be laws that we're going to end up having to sit there and make sure that everybody in this room, including yourselves, are not sitting there paying the extra cost for. And I already submitted the paperwork to you guys.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Burns, not to cut you off, you're still free to talk. We just got those you gave to us right before the meeting.
Right.
Obviously, Josette might have been able to read it all. There's no way I could have. So we'll be sure to pass it on to the administration and the other council people. Thank you.
I also included in their fees because I know that you guys are, you guys have a public fund for paying for the time, your guys' time and stuff like that, admin, to incorporate all these things that you guys do here. So there's also a fund inside of that too to help cover that as well, if you look in there.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your service also. Next is Miss Amy Montmiller. Miss Montmiller.
Amy Montmiller, 5040 Corduroy Road. Good evening, council and citizens. I want to begin tonight with an important update regarding the citizens' petition to amend the city charter. On Friday, August 7th, the Lucas County Board of Elections completed its review of the petition's signatures. We have been informed that the petition contains the required number of valid signatures. That is an important milestone. Residents did what the process required of them. They circulated petitions, collected signatures, submitted them for review, and waited for the Board of Elections to determine their sufficiency. Now the process moves to the city. Under Article 18, Section 8 and 9 of the Ohio Constitution, when a sufficient petition proposing a municipal charter amendment is presented, the legislative authority is required to act forthwith by ordinance to provide for submission of the amendment to the voters. Those same constitutional provisions establish a 60 to 120 day election window following the passage of that ordinance. For the November 3rd, 2026 election date, 60 days beforehand is September 4th. So there is a real timetable in front of us, and the next step should be to not allow it to simply sit. We are asking that the ordinance be assigned and require action be taken promptly so that the matter can be returned to the Board of Elections and the election process can continue. The residents completed their part. The Board of Election has reviewed the signatures. Now we look to the city to complete its part of the process in accordance with its applicable requirements and deadlines. I also want to briefly address the IEBW. Both Jim Davis and I were contacted separately by a representative identifying himself as being with the IBEW. They reached out to us. We did not approach them. The representative discussed concerns the IBEW has regarding this proposed project and information they said they had received concerning local union labor. I do not want to speak for the IBEW or characterize their position for them. If they have concerns or a position regarding this project, I believe the people of Oregon should hear that directly from IBEW. That is why we invited them to attend this meeting tonight and speak for themselves, as he did. I appreciate that he accepted our invitation and came before this council. I believe that no longer are they in support of this project. The public now has had the opportunity to hear it directly from them rather than through anyone else. Tonight, however, my primary focus is the petition and what happens next. People participating in the process provided to them by the law. They collected those signatures and it was submitted. The next responsibility is procedural. The ordinance needs to move forward so the election process can continue within the required time frame. I hope council will make that next step clear and timely so residents know exactly when the matter stands and what happens next. I look forward to November when Oregon residents can participate directly at the ballot box. Regardless of how any individual ultimately votes, this is local democracy in action. Residents became involved, asked questions, signed petitions, attended meetings, and used the process available to them. When the election day arrives, every voter will have the opportunity to make his or her own decision. That is where this question should ultimately be resolved by the voters of Oregon through the ballot box. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mott Miller. Last call for Mark Klatt. I don't know if he's still here, if he's still in the hallway or, okay. That will end the public participation.
Mr. President,
Mrs. Poloff.
I need to have a few words here.
Okay.
I've listened to this for roughly 2 years now. And I read an article in the Suburban Press this week from Genoa, and their city administrator made a lot of great points that I seem to really agree with, and that is, we're a community. We're not the bad guys up here. We live here just like you guys do. Now, if you want a data center, that's fine. If you don't want a data center, that's fine too. You took the steps to make sure that you did what you need to do to not have one or to have one. It's the voters' decision now. And I totally respect that because I do believe in this city and I do believe in the people that live here. We all have a choice. But I would like to see that choice have all the information, good and bad, correct, and I want it to be shared equally, both sides, all information. And I understand that people are passionate about that, and I appreciate that. But one thing is I look at myself in this situation, and a lot of people in here know me. They've known me for years. I've taught catechism. I've been involved in groups to help this city. I'm not here to hurt this city. I'm not. Facebook has done a lot of damage in the last couple of years. It really has. And we all have to sit and really think of what we want for our community. There are consequences to every decision we make. It's really hard when people say stuff and everyone sees it on Facebook. So you don't know. I don't know that it's a dead issue. I was never informed of that. I only go by the information that's given to me, and hopefully it's the correct information. I'm not afraid to say what I feel, and I'm not afraid to say things, even on Facebook. I don't hide behind anything. What you get is from me. So I have a really hard time wanting to do my job here. So when I look at these ordinance and how much it's cost, and we don't have revenue now. It was 2004 when it was shot down to put a safety levy on the ballot so we could get the personnel we need in both police and fire. And that was shot down because something big was going to happen in the industrial area. Well, that fell through. Now, this is going to be falling through. And I know that many of you, it's like 50-50 divide right now, and I'm okay with the citizens deciding this in the ballot. I really am. But if we don't get this, where is our revenue coming from? How are we going to have a better police department, have a better fire department, have a better streets department, and have everything that we're accustomed to? Good streets, plowed streets in the summer, garbage pickup, all of that, we have been able to have those. So right now, I sit here and I think, in my best judgment, I cannot spend another dime with this uncertainty. Where is our income coming from? What revenue do we have? If we don't get a data center, I agree. What is next? What is next? Because every week I've come up here, listened to one narrative, and nobody speaks about the positive. And I read this one article from Genoa, and I'm like, that's a community that's trying to work together. We've got ourselves so divided, and we've known each other ever since we moved here or lived here or grew up here. So I myself, there's going to be a lot of no's because we have to pay for new firefighters, and there's things that the police need. And I'm afraid that we're going to hit a brick wall and not be able to take care of those things. So I think we should be a community. I think we should work together. We're not enemies here. We all live here. That's where I stand now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Poloff.
Question here, Mr. President.
Who's got a question? Real quick, sir.
Those implementations that I put in for the data center, those can also be applied to any industry. If you want to use the BP with the oil in Oregon, you could use some of those same implementations with them. You could do it with any company around here, but the thing is you guys got to write the bills, and we got to vote. Well, they have to vote on them. I'm not an Oregon resident, but I'm just sitting there saying, and I agree with you 100%, we got to know both sides. And that's the reason why I didn't come straight in here, was just saying, hey, look, no. Because this is not my area. This is your guys' area and these guys' area. I just know how it affects me. And I'm just sitting there giving an outside looking in perspective.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burns. Okay. Next is, we need to add item 112, 1112 of 2026 to tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Walczak. Okay, motion made by Mr. Walczak. Is there a second?
I'll support.
Okay, Mr. Andrus, seconds. Council, are there any objections? Hearing none. Is there any objections? I'm sorry. Hearing none, item 112 of 2026 is being added to the agenda. Okay. At this time, it is 7:54. I would like to open a public hearing at 7:54. Is there anyone present here? I'm sorry. Okay. That's screwed up. Okay, application, public hearing is application SUE 193-26, special use in an Oregon, in a Navarre Avenue C5 Business Zone District for the purpose of operating a developmental disability recreational adult day hab. The applicant is Noir Tawil, for owner Florida and Ohio Properties LLC. The location is 3545 Navarre Avenue. Okay, is there anyone here to speak in favor of the renewal? Okay. Please come up, ma'am.
Hello, Tanya Tucson. Did you want my personal address or the address to the location?
The address of the building.
Yeah, 3545 Navarre. Okay. Yes, so. Yeah, 3545 Navarre, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you want to start it. Does anybody have any questions for her? Okay, Ms. Wynota? Sure. Yeah, we want to hear you.
Is this going to be your only facility, or do you own others?
No, this is the only facility.
Okay, so it's your first facility that you're opening up?
Yes.
Okay. How many employees will be needed for the care of the 5 customers we were told?
It'll be 5, and it's two, yes.
2
employees.
people for 5 adults?
Yes.
Handicapped?
Yes.
And that's a little sparse. Someone needs to go to the restroom, takes extra time.
Yeah, that's a required. Yeah, come on.
And there's one on the floor for 5.
Okay, yeah, if we would, we'll ask a question and let them answer, okay? So go on.
So you'll be serving 5 people a day?
Yes, depending on their level of, depending on, so with the Department of Development of Disabilities, they split them in levels depending on their need. So the need that we have for the clients that we're seeking, the ratio is 1 staff to every 5 clients, but we're gonna have 2 staff.
Okay, so 5 customers per day?
So these
How
are,
does that work?
so these are 5 clients that'll be in there from between 9 to 3 p.m. So it's just 5 clients, the same 5 clients, 5 days a week.
Okay, so, and what's the cost of this sessions per day?
It depends on what their waiver,
they need?
what their waiver and what their need is.
Okay, and who pays the tab?
The
Insurance?
their insurance
Public?
does.
Good answer.
So it's paid through their insurance.
Okay, so no public funds
No.
will go to it. Okay, honey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for the explanation. If you have something else to say, ma'am, you're more than welcome.
No, I didn't have anything else, but did anybody else have any questions?
And Mr. President,
Mr. Gibbs?
I think we covered this ground a couple weeks ago and nobody was here to represent your client or whoever it is that's owns this property. So I had these questions and Mr. Schrake was kind enough to answer them the best he could, but I would like to ask you them.
Okay,
if you don't
sure.
mind. Okay, now, as of recently, nothing's been done to that property, right?
Exactly. So we weren't sure if we had to wait to this meeting. We had a meeting scheduled, but we thought it was on a Tuesday, so that's what happened. But we was explained that city council meets on Monday and the other meeting is on Tuesday, so sorry, missed that meeting. So we weren't sure. We have people ready to start. We wanted to do some renovations on the inside to get it started. Our planned date was October the 1st. So as soon as we get the okay, we would like to start, getting the outside and the inside prepared as well.
Okay, I got a couple more here.
Okay, that's fine.
What is the next step in this process before developmental disability clients are allowed access to the recreational day hab?
So the next step,
Yeah,
far as,
before your clients are able to go there?
Okay, she can speak on that.
So once we get the okay to get the special use permit, we do have to go in and do some work. After that work is completed, the Ohio Department of Medicaid does come out and do a site visit. So they make sure that it meets the requirements of the state before we can actually have clients inside of the space.
So your clients are covered by Medicare?
Medicaid and Medicare, yes.
Medicaid and Medicare.
Yes.
So when Winona
Mhm.
asked you how they were going to be paid, you said
their
through their
insurance.
insurance.
Yeah, through their
So-
insurance, yes.
Okay, so it's through state insurance?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not private insurance?
No, it's not private insurance.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Mhm.
Okay, having been in other facilities that provide this type of service, there are handicap accessible restrooms, game rooms, television, and eating areas.
Mhm.
Are you going to provide all that?
Yeah, so right now we're working with the owners of the space. So again, once we get the special use permit, we just speak to the owners. There is a bathroom that does need to be widened to be handicap accessible. The space already has a ramp, so we're just wanting to widen that a little bit. So there's just a few additional things that would need to happen in order for us to be able to occupy the space for our clients.
Okay. Will there be a final inspection? Obviously, there'll be a final inspection before this is allowed to open, right?
Yes.
Are there any age restrictions on this?
No, there's no age restrictions. I know with the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities, we go, because we work specifically with adults, so it's anywhere from between 21 to 99 or whatever. So
Okay, so
we accept the wide range of.
nobody under 21?
Nobody under 21 because they have to be considered an adult.
Okay.
So to speak to that, most clients who have developmental disabilities, they still attend school up until the age of 21. So they consider 21 and above adult.
Okay. Will the clients be restricted to the inside of the Dayhab on Navarre Avenue because it's a very busy roadway and I see no fences on the outside?
Yeah, so that was one of the questions that I did want to speak as far as once we get our special use, because we would like to put some type of fence around. But they won't be just confined to this space. We do have scheduled activities and plans for the clients so that they're not just confined to that space 5 days a week. So we do have like planned activities outside of that space.
Okay. Okay, with this being a non-medical Dayhab, will the staff be trained in any kind of emergency treatment?
Yes, we're required by the state of Ohio to train all of our staff from anywhere from de-escalation to CPR first aid. And outside of the 2 staff that are going to be providing direct services, we will have an administrative staff who will also be trained as well in the facility.
Okay. Finally, will anyone on the premises be allowed to consume alcohol or recreational drugs?
No, by the state of Ohio, we cannot. Any staff cannot consume any alcohol or drugs in that space with our clients.
Okay. Thank you for answering all those
You're
questions.
welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions?
I live right across the street. I never got notified of the zoning change. I mean, wouldn't that fall in where you'd mail it out to all the neighbors?
Mr. Straight?
There was a zoning letter for the planning commission as well as a sign posted at the site for both the planning commission meeting and then currently there's one for this meeting.
Yeah, I don't think I got it, but no big deal. I'm not against it. I'm for it. That's a good thing for these people. So, but I figured I would get notified and I never got in the mail. So, but I watch it online. No big deal.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, at this time, Mr. Ellerbush?
I'm wondering how many hours a day this facility will be open with their 5 clients, and how do the clients arrive and how do they leave?
She's gonna let you know, Mr. Ellerbush.
So we will be open from 9 to about 4. Our clients normally stay from 9 to 2. And we provide transportation to and from our facility. Monday through Friday.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ellerbush. Any other questions? Come on down.
Again, this ain't my community, but I just have a quick question because my sister is kind of in certain situations kind of similar to what goes on. But the question is if you guys are drawing from Medicaid and Medicare, are you also requiring the patients to also give any funds from their Social Security if they're on Social Security or anything like that?
No, when we submit anything to the state, it's strictly just for the services that we provide. All of anything outside of that, as far as like their funds, is maintained either by the guardian or by themselves, because some of them are their own guardians.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else have any questions, whether you're in favor of it or in opposition?
Mr. President,
Mr. Andrews?
at the previous meeting, I did mention that this is the career that my wife presently pursues. I have 2 children who are adult with developmental disabilities, and everything that these 2 ladies has said is everything that I have experienced with my wife's career over the past 20 years. And at no point in any time in any of my conversations has alcohol or drugs ever come up with regards to day programs for people with special needs. So I'm just telling you, based on my experience, it's just like I'm listening to my wife talk right now. So thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andrus. Anyone else have any
Mr.
questions?
President, can I just say one thing? All of this is
Mrs.
highly
Pfeiffer?
regulated. Yeah, highly regulated by the state. It is not an easy process to get these licenses. It takes different insurance policies, and you can find it all online. I did print it out at one point in case anybody had questions. I don't know if Josette still has it. I don't know where it's at. But this is not something they just came up with on their own. They have jumped through a lot of hoops to get to this point, and they will continue to jump through those hoops because there are also regular inspections. So that's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Pfeiffer. Anyone else? Hearing none? I'm sorry, I'm hearing things. Okay, hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 8:07 PM. And I will sign item 104 as ordinance 104 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Authorizing a special use permit for parcel 44-19901 for property located at 3545 Navarre Avenue, Oregon, Ohio, for the purpose of operating a developmental disability recreational adult day hab on the property in a Navarre Avenue C5 Business Zone District.
Okay, council, is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Andrus.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 104 of 2026 as submitted.
Okay, Mr. Andrus made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Andrus, seconded by Mr. Horniak. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call of council?
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Gibbs?
Present.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Mr. Wallensack?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance 104 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0, I'm sorry.
6 yeas and 1 present.
Okay, I forgot the present. Yeah, sorry. Okay, my bad. 6 yeas and 1 present. All right. Thank you, Mayor. Next on the agenda is item 105, being presented by Mr. Paul Roman. Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Mr. President. This was presented last week, but this is a change order for a water line project that took place on Willing Street from Star Avenue, from Star to Northvale, and be happy to answer any questions from last week as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roman. Council, any additional questions on item 105? Hearing none, I will assign item 105 as ordinance 105 and ask Ms. Snyder to please read it into the record.
Authorizing the Mayor, Director of Public Service, and Finance Director to sign change order number 1 final with Spirit Brothers Incorporated, 3812 Old Railroad Road, Sandusky, Ohio, in an amount of a net contract addition of $6,185 due to additional work and a net increase in quantities related to the annual waterline replacement Star and Wheeling project.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Snyder. Council, is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Andrus,
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 105 of 2026 as submitted.
okay, thank you, Mr. Andrus. Is there a second? I'll second it. Okay, motion made by Mr. Andrus, seconded by Councilman Drake. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call?
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Since it's a changeover on a project that's already started, yes.
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, council. Ordinance 105 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0 nays. Okay, next is item 106 being presented by, I believe, Mr. Roman.
Spangler.
Mr. Spangler, I'm sorry, I forgot you were here.
It's all right. Mr. Roman can do it if you would like. I presented this item last week. Happy to answer any questions. I don't have any further information at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Council, any additional questions? The only,
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
go ahead, Mrs. Ackerman.
No, this is the one with that the cameras would be out on, in the rec center and then in our city garage. And were there any other locations? Refresh
I believe
my
the
memory.
police area too.
Oh, Mr. Spangler?
Yeah, so the cameras will be placed in the water department, the old street department garage, the police department range, the rec soccer parking, rec soccer side and rec parking area, the old mechanic building, and the new street department garage.
Oh, thank you. I
Encompasses
forgot
all of
about-
those.
I forgot about the range. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Mr. President?
Mrs. Pauloff.
Was there a price on there? I'm sorry. What was the price on it?
As in the overall total project price?
Yes.
Is $78,610, and this
Thank
all
you.
is being paid for through the 2024 COPS technology grant.
So
we
there is
received.
money slated for this?
This is 100% paid for by a grant.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, council, any additional questions?
Mr. President?
Mrs. Ackerman.
I know that we've all received correspondence and have been spoken to by different city workers, and they have reservations about placement of some of the cameras. Mr. Walters, the administrator, is not here this evening. Is it possible to table this till their grievances or their concerns could be heard regarding the placement? Is there a timeline?
There
we're up
is, as
against?
noted in the ordinance, the quote is only valid through tomorrow.
Okay, well, that's why I just have to ask. We're getting these.
Yeah, nothing has been forwarded to myself. No
Okay.
questions have been asked. Presented it last week. Nothing has been forwarded on to me for any concerns that were there. The department heads in each of those areas certainly were consulted, and their recommendations. I'm just happy to include them in my grant.
Okay, thank you. As you were a former public employee, I'm going to follow your lead because I'm not in their shoes and you have been, so I'll defer to whatever you think is the way to go with that. If it's a time crunch, I don't want to lose grant money.
Mr. President,
Mrs. Pfeiffer.
I would just say there are cameras everywhere. This entire building is covering cameras, but yes, I mean, really the whole world is.
I had to
You
ask
should
for
assume-
these several times
I know.
before we got them.
But they really, at this point, I mean, you should almost always assume you're being recorded. But having cameras in these types of places in that capacity, it's not to be monitoring it 24/7. Nobody's gonna be watching what everybody does, but it is there to review when something does happen. And I think that's normal. I don't think it's anything that's abusive to employees. Like I said, every hallway in here is on camera. Every single day I'm walking, every room I go into. And it's not being recorded to just watch what everybody's doing, but if there is something going on, then we're able to review it.
Thank you.
Okay, council, any additional questions for item 106? I got one last question. It's all or nothing, correct? You can't split it, half the police and half the other, correct?
Right, the security camera line item is listed in the grant as one total budgetary item.
Okay.
Separate from the server space, that is additional, but that's not before us today.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. President, let me ask, or can I add one more thing?
Uh-huh.
I mean, the reality of cameras in the day we live in now, as a prosecutor, I can tell you, it benefits both sides. In fact, I think PJ and I had this conversation this week. The employee is protected because anything that's alleged, they're able to see what happened. If somebody's injured, you can see who did it. It's that way, it's not a one-sided conversation. So I don't see it as a negative. As long as people realize it's not for the purpose of harassing people, it is to keep people safe and to be able to look into things and investigate things properly, and that everybody's on the same playing field. Everybody has the same information then. So I wouldn't have those concerns.
Okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I know in the past, I worked for the city a lot of years. I don't think there was a whole lot of bird dogging. You'd have to do something really, really stupid or crazy to get in trouble at the city. Anybody who's worked here a long time. And, all right, I just want to leave it at that. Council, any additional questions? Hearing none, I'll move item 106 as ordinance 106. And ask Ms. Snyder to, first is there a motion? I'm sorry.
No, I need to read it in the record. You were right.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Snyder, please read it into the record.
Authorizing the mayor, finance director, and chief of police to enter into an agreement and issue a purchase order to Unify Marketing and Technology Solutions, 2345 Detroit Avenue, Maumee, Ohio, for the purchase and installation of security cameras for the 2024 fiscal year 24 COPS Technology and Equipment Program Invitational Solicitation Grant and declaring an emergency.
Okay, thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Mrs. Pawlowski.
I move for passage of ordinance 106 of 2026 as an emergency measure.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Pawlowski. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Pawlowski, seconded by Mr. Wanzak. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call?
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Mr. Wallensack?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Present.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Present.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Snyder. You got the right numbers.
5 yeses, 2 presents.
Okay, it does pass with 5 yeas, 2
Presents.
presents. And that's it. Item 106 does pass by 5 yeas and 2 presents. Next is item 107, presented by council. Any additional questions? Mr. Roman? Roman?
Mr. President.
I forgot to put the P or the N by it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so we have nothing additional for the items that were already placed on the agenda. For item 112, once we get up to that one, I have some additional information to provide. If there's any questions, I can answer them now.
Okay.
On these items.
Council, any additional questions for 107? Hearing none, I will sign item 107 as ordinance 107. Ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Leveling special assessments for the property owner's share of the cost of maintaining the sanitary sewer lines in the city of Oregon, Ohio for the year 2025 in the amount of $533,189.30.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walenzak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 107 of 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walenzak. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Horniak. Motion made by Mr. Walenzak, seconded by Mr. Horniak. Ms. Snyder, please take roll call.
Mr. Walenzak?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Paula?
Okay.
She stepped up.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walenzak.
Oh, she just stepped up.
She just stepped up.
Okay.
6 yeas.
Okay, the vote is 6 yeas and 0 nays. Okay, we'll move on to item 108. Presented by Mr. Nick. Any additional questions? Do you have anything to add, Nick?
Yeah, I have nothing to add for any of these except for item 112. So yeah, with each of these, if there's any additional questions, I can answer them, but.
Okay. Council, any questions on item 108?
Mr. President,
Mrs. Ackerman?
could Mr. Roman please just give a brief synopsis of it, just because of the amount that we're spending, for the public, please?
Well, so Mr. President, Ms. Ackerman, yeah, so this isn't spending any money. This is levying assessment. So this is
Okay, but-
the amount of money that we
Right, they're
did spend in
spending.
2025.
They're spending. Let
Yeah,
me
correct.
rephrase that.
Yeah,
They're
so this is
spending.
money spent in 2025 by the city for streetlights around the city. So yes, these will be levied on the citizens and will be paid in 2027. And again, it's for 2025 expenses in regards to streetlights.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Ackerman. Thank you, Mr. Roman. Ms. Snyder,
Any additional questions?
yep, any additional questions, council? I'm sorry. Hearing none, do I have a motion?
No, ask me to read it in the record.
Okay, Ms. Snyder, would you please read it into the record?
Levying special assessments for the property owner's share of the cost of lighting the streets and public ways in the city of Oregon, Ohio for the year 2025 in the amount of $331,110.57.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Snyder.
Mr. President.
Mr. Walenzak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 108 of 2026.
Okay. Thank you,
Second.
Mr. Walenzak. Motion made by Mr. Walenzak, seconded by Mrs. Ackerman. Ms. Snyder, please take roll call.
Mr. Walenzak?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yes.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Paula?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance 108 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0 nays. Okay, next, Nick, item 109.
Yeah, Mr. President. Yeah, so this is for levying special assessments for the property owners that have costs that are for the drainage facilities in these specific neighborhoods or subdivisions in the city. If there's any questions, please let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Roman. Council, any additional questions? Hearing none, I will sign item 109 as ordinance 109 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Levying special assessments for the property owner's share of the cost of maintaining the drainage facilities in Heritage Estates, Park Place, Hickory Shores, Cardinal Estates, The Vineyard, The Drake, Foxgate, Bay Meadows, Park Alonde, Haley Hollow 1, and Haley Hollow 2 subdivisions for the year 2025 for a total amount of $15,138.94.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walenzak.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for passage of ordinance number 109 of 2026.
Okay, seconded by Mr. Andrus.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Anderson will support.
All righty, thank you. Motion made by Mr. Walenzak, seconded by Mr. Andrus. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call at council?
Mr. Walenzak?
Yes.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Paula?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Ordinance 109 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0 nays. Next is item 110, Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for levying special assessments for the cutting of noxious weeds. There are 26 total properties this year, and the total amount of $13,597.74. Any questions, please let me know.
Okay. Thank you. Council, any additional questions for item 110? Hearing none, I will assign item 110 as ordinance 110 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Levying special assessments for the cutting of noxious weeds in the city of Oregon, Ohio for the year 2025 in the amount of $13,597.74.
Okay, council, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 110 of 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walczak. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Walczak, seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Thank you. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call of council?
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance 110 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0 nays. Next is item 111, being presented by Mr. Nick.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for levying special assessments for unpaid water and sewer accounts. There were 3 accounts totaling $1,070.50.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Room. And council, any additional questions on item 111? Hearing none, I will sign item 111 as ordinance 111. Ask Ms. Snyder to please read it into the record.
Levying special assessments for the cost of unpaid water and sewer accounts in the city of Oregon, Ohio for the year 2025 in the amount of $1,070.50.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for passage of ordinance number 111 of 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walczak. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Motion made by Mr. Walczak, seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call of council?
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance 111 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0 nays. Next is agenda item 113 of 2026 being presented by Mr. Nick.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for levying special assessments for the abatement of a public nuisance at 2508 Olivewood in the total of $7,500.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roman. Council, any additional questions?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. Rome,
Yes.
is this something that the city paid for and then they're going back on the owner to collect it?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Gibbs, Mr. President, Mr. Gibbs. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so I can't word for word say the whole process, but yes, it's basically there's a complaint on a property that there's a public nuisance. The building and zoning department goes and checks it out. They try to work with the property owners to get them to correct it on their own after, I don't know the exact time period, but if it's not corrected in that time period, they send out a notice basically saying they have, I believe, 2 weeks to correct it or the city will do it. So at that point, the city does go forward, get quotes, and make sure that we're trying to get the cheapest cost possible, abates the property, and then that's when, in the next year, it does go to be assessed on the property. So, yes.
Thank
you're
you,
correct.
Mr. Roman.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Thank you, Mr. Roman. Council, any additional questions? Hearing none, I will assign item 113 as ordinance 113 and ask Ms. Snyder to please read it into the record.
Leveling a special assessment for the abatement of a public nuisance located at 2508 Olivewood Avenue in the city of Oregon, Ohio in the amount of $7,500.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Snyder. Council, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 113 of 2026.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walczak. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Okay, Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call of council?
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Council votes 7 yeas and 0 nays. Next is item 112. Okay, Mr. Nick Roman.
Thanks, Mr. President. If you remember from last week, we did bring this forward for levying special assessment for another public nuisance at 1047 Patchen Road. We did table it, or we didn't move it forward to the agenda tonight, but after the meeting, we did go, Angie went and talked with Ms. Helly, hopefully I don't pronounce that incorrectly, and gave her her phone number, but then Ms. Helly did call the next day. I know Building and Zoning had tried to reach out to her once, and then Mr. Walters had tried to call a couple times. I know Ms. Helly called back and left a couple of voicemails, but from what I was told from Mr. Walters was that after reviewing all the information, we do feel that this is something that needs to move forward. There's a lot more additional information put into the packet that went over a couple different years of notices, and then there's a lot of pictures in there of the property. If there's any questions, please let me know. Me or Mr. Shake should be able to answer anything.
Okay, council, any additional questions on item 112?
Mr. President?
Mrs. Akron.
I noticed on here in several places that the filer is Shrake for neighbor. Is that, so we're acting on behalf of complaints by a neighbor of Ms. Helly? Is that what that means?
Mr. President,
Mr. Shrake.
Ms. Ackerman, at a time, we had permitted for anonymous complaints. And so at that time, whenever someone wished to remain anonymous, then it was complainant for neighbor through the commissioner. However, there's been quite a bit of abuse of that and been used as fuel for neighbor feuds and such. And so the policy going forward in 2026 is that, again, we are reverting back to all complaints must have a complainant. We also found that it was very hard if it went to court for prosecution, if you don't have a complainant, then the judge doesn't have a good case because you don't have the person that is objecting. So that's another reason why we've reverted back to the original policy.
And all of the complaints were from the same neighbor or that?
I believe in this case, Ms. Ackerman, we had a number of complaints because of the condition of the property and that the property was not adequately secured. And they were in fear of a lot of kids that are playing around. And so it becomes an attractive nuisance.
Thank you. I have driven by this. I'm familiar with this. And I just went through there on Saturday. There are several properties that I think would fit the profile for this type of action. But I just hope that we're being consistent and in that there are some that look very dangerous. And I know the building adjacent is in the open with I know they put some Tyvek around it. I've seen it, it's blown off on different occasions, it's got a hole in the foundation. It's very dangerous in and of itself for the public, for children. I mean, they could, for people to, get into some kind of mischief there. But I think we have a long way to go to being consistent. It does seem like there's a lot of focus on individual properties and overall, like there are homes I go by that they look abandoned, and I know they're probate issues, and I know you have a lot of hurdles to go through with all that, but I just would encourage like our building and zoning to it's it's a lot of effort on one property and I see zero effort on others. So thank you for clarifying that it has to be a complaint, a specific complaint then by, an individual willing to put their name to it. So just so everybody knows that, thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Schrake.
Ms. Ackerman, I disagree that the building and zoning doesn't address these properties on an equal basis. We are and have always been the policy of a complaint-driven office because we do not have the personnel to drive up and down every street. And I don't think the residents want us to start policing every street, going up and down and finding little violations here and there and sending you a letter. So we've always been based on the complaint-driven process. I understand that there are properties that may look like there is no action, but they all have very similar action in different levels of process. And then when they go to court, in many cases, they may get dismissed for one reason or another, and then we have to refile and go through the same process over again. So these may seem like we're not doing anything when in fact we are. Every complaint that comes into the office is thoroughly investigated, and notices of violation are sent out multiple times. First by regular mail, second by certified mail, giving them 30 days to correct the problem and then another 30 days. After which time then an inspector goes back out, confirms that the work has or has not been completed, and then it is forwarded to the law director to prepare charges for the court. Then a court date is set and it goes before court. And then at that point, the Building and Zoning Department is out of that process. Depending on the results of that court action, we may have to go back through and start the process over again. So we do look at every complaint that we receive, and then we process them accordingly. In many cases, the complaint that we investigate has been corrected by the owner, which is the preference of the city, and then it is closed out. As for the property next door to this particular one, they have active permits, so they're actively working on it. So for us to go and say, you're not working fast enough, or you are not doing something to our liking, they have a right to work on it with an active permit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ackerman, thank you. Mr. Schrake.
Yeah, just very briefly, I concur with what Mr. Schrake said. There are actually a lot of zoning cases that happen in the city. Not everyone's going to go to court, but that's because of the efforts that the zoning department makes. So they're working with properties all the time, hoping to not have it in the position where it does go to court. And it's still, when it does go to court, it's still not a simple process, because usually it's a matter of money for most people. So we're always trying to find ways to work with people. I can say there's no perfect system. When I was in the city of Perrysburg, it wasn't complaint-based. It was where they were driving around and policing, and the same complaints occurred, whether it's evenly distributed amongst the community, because it's a small department, and there's a lot of properties, and either way, you're gonna have the same issues. But I can say that this office is very, very thorough, and they do a lot of work on a lot of properties. Even if they don't all go to court, we still have quite a few that are in court. And like you said, if they're in compliance, then my goal is to dismiss it so people don't have any additional costs. But yeah, we do our best to work with everybody, and Mr. Schrake's office has been fantastic with that.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pfeiffer. Ms. Powell.
Mr. Schrake, was the demolition completed?
Yes, this particular case started in 2022 by my predecessor, and it was finally demolished in 2025.
Okay.
And it was completely demolished and returned to a empty vacant lot.
And who paid for that demolition?
That demolition was paid for by the city, and per all of the violation letters, the last paragraph indicates that the city may recover those costs through assessment.
Thank you.
Okay, council, any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Pauloff. Okay. Ms. Ellie, you're welcome to come to the podium. Thank you, Mayor.
I have some questions about the notifications. Who were they sent to?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schrate,
the notifications were sent to Kristen Healy, 665 South Stadium Road, Oregon, Ohio, 43616.
And when were those sent?
Mr. President, there was numerous ones that were sent out.
Can you tell me how many?
There was one in July 21st, 2022, signed by James Gilmore.
August 30th.
There was one on August 30th, 2022, signed by James Gilmore. There was a letter that was given by to Mr. Gilmore from Zach DeVilbus, attorney for Kristen Healy. Then it went to court. And then another violation letter was sent out. Well, I'm sorry, there was a request for preparation of charges, December 2nd of 2022. To the prosecutor.
And that was.
Then a new notice of public nuisance for abatement by commissioner was sent to FUO LLC, attention Kristen Healy, 665 South Stadium Road, Oregon, Ohio, 43616, on February 24th, 2025. And the pages I'm flipping are all the pictures that were taken by the inspector to confirm for court. And then defendant was found guilty on September 27th, 2023 by Judge Kovacs. Defendant was sentenced to pay $1,000 fine and $97 in court costs.
What was that for?
Then
What was the actual charge, a property nuisance?
let's see, affidavit. Zoning ordinance violations.
It wasn't for a demo permit?
No, that may have been.
Because I was under the impression, as I was going through all 12 court dates, that that was dropped.
I'm looking at the
And
court.
that the actual
record.
charge was for I think it was a demo permit extension that the city refused to give me, and no answer of why they would refuse to give it to me. But I'm not here to debate whether or not old court cases are apparent, but it seems to me like there's been a lot of special attention given to 1041 Fink Road, where, I know that these are supposed to be anonymous, but I have personally told your inspector that is a safety concern, and why has that one never been investigated?
You're talking about which property?
1041 Fink.
The one next door,
The
or,
one that sits behind my property.
okay? In our
House
phone
that's standing
conversation
with-
today, you indicated you never spoke with the inspector, that
That's not
your,
true.
that the demo contractor, or some contractor spoke to him. I do have
I
witnesses
personally
on that
myself have
phone
also
call.
spoken to your inspectors, and that was an absolute concern. And why was that property never even investigated? Yet you have done everything against my property that is a vacant lot.
Mr. President,
Mr. Schrate,
at the time of the nuisance, it was not a vacant lot. It was an open basement with just a floor deck that was open to the elements and rotting. And so that became a fall hazard for anyone that could be playing around and fall into an open basement without any fencing and any protection.
Well, the property at 1041 Fink has an open floor with nothing over top of it and could easily be tripped over by a kid or anything like that. It has live wires hanging from it, and I have photos throughout the past year to prove all of this. And I'm not understanding why has nobody at the city done anything about this property?
Mr. President,
Mr. Schrate,
we're talking about the property that you own, not the next door property. The
sorry.
next door property does have active permits.
I had active permits as well when this all started.
And all of those had expired.
Is there some kind of reason, this property has been offered to anybody, it's been for sale, and I don't know why the person that owns 1041 Fink isn't buying the property if they want it, because it's been told to me that that's what's the problem, is that he wants the property. And I don't understand why. He had the opportunity to buy it and he chose not to. He still has the opportunity to buy it, he's still not willing to. So I don't think that it's very fair that he just keeps filing these anonymous reports against my property when his sits there in complete anguish and nobody does anything about this.
Mr. President,
Mr. Schrate,
we have not received any complaints from that property
Other
owner
than the
since
one-
this year. And we also, as far as, what was your other question?
Why is nobody doing anything about this property that I specifically told your inspector there's issues with it? He said, don't worry about that one. We're not worried about that one, we're worried about you.
Mr. President,
Ms. Pfeiffer,
I'm just gonna say, if we were in court, this would be asked and answered. I think he has answered it. There's clearly permits that are still open right now. That would be the difference, would make the difference of the two properties.
Okay. My last question is, where is it that I can file complaints?
You make, Mr. President,
Mr. Schrate,
you may file complaints through the office in person. You can also pull down a complaint form on our online, and you can submit that via email.
And does it only take one complaint for the property to be looked at?
Yes, we process every complaint regardless of the number of complaints and do the investigation on that.
So, okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Ms. Sully. Thank you, Mr. Schrate. Thank you, Ms. Pfeiffer. Okay. Okay.
Any additional questions?
Okay, council, any additional questions? Okay, hearing none. I will assign item 112 as ordinance 112 and ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Levying a special assessment for the abatement of a public nuisance located at 1047 Patchen Road in the city of Oregon, Ohio, in the amount of $3,500.
Okay, council, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walmsley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 112, 2026.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Walmsley. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Motion made by Mr. Walmsley, seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call of council?
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Horniak?
Yes.
Mrs. Pauloff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, council. Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Ordinance 112 does pass with a vote of 7 yeas and 0 nays. Okay, that is the end of the ordinances. Of having considered all items on the agenda this evening, we will now move on to the mayor's report. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, hang on one second. Mayor. Real quick.
But it's confusing when, some people are probably confused when it's 5 yeas and 2 presents, but under Robert's rules, presents, when you say present, it's actually treated as an abstention, so it's 5 yeses and no nos. So if people are at home, they don't understand what just happened. It's just an abstention where you don't count the vote at all when they say present. So I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes people are like, I don't understand this. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Got a resignation and an appointment here to do. So first one, we're going to start with the resignation. This will be resignation of Logan Perry as part-time firefighter 2 EMT within the fire department. And this will be effective July 24th, 2026. Just looking for council concurrence, please.
Okay.
Mr. President. I would
Mr. Gibbs.
I would concur with the mayor on that.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Thank you, Mrs. Pauloff. Mayor, council concurs. Any objections? Did I hear somebody down there? No, okay. No objections. Council concurs.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, council. Next would be the appointment. This will be appointment of Zachary Enke as a wastewater treatment plant, or at the wastewater treatment plant. He'll be placed in step 1 of ASME pay range for the position, which is an hourly rate of $34.41 per hour. Annual rate $71,572.80. And this effective date will be Tuesday, September 8th, 2026. Looking for council concurrence.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Council.
Mr. President.
Mr.
I would
Gibbs.
concur with the mayor on that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Pauloff. Council, any objections? Hearing none, council concurs.
Thank you, Mr. President, council. Lastly, there's a couple things here. Last evening, we had the Oregon Fire versus Toledo Fire softball game over there at Fifth Third Field, which was pretty doggone sweet. I imagine that was quite an experience in itself. I was able to attend along with Councilman Paul Gibbs, and I tell you what, it was one heck of a game. It really was. It was exciting, really, really exciting. Some great plays by our fire department and some mediocre plays by Toledo. Unfortunately, Toledo did pull it off in the 7th inning there in 9-7. I think somehow they got the weather on their side too, so I don't know how that worked out, but a great job by all. And I just want to say thank you to Oregon Fire for making us all proud. You did a great job, and it was a lot of fun. It was a heck of a good time. So thank you for that. And lastly, we're going to go to the police. Police Department has the blood drive on Wednesday, August 12th, from 8 till, I think it's 2 to 2. So sign up. You can sign up through the Red Cross app or online. Also call the police department. You can sign up to donate blood and give to life. I know right now they are having a blood shortage, so if you are able and willing, it would be greatly appreciated. And that's all I have for my report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Wohlers is not here. Ms. Pfeiffer, any reports?
Mr. President, no report.
All right, no reports. Mr. P. Roman.
Just a comment, Mr. President. I know in past discussions, if the data center were to ever come to fruition, we have always stressed local union labor for this project. So, and that, that clearly has always been my stance. I believe both past administration and current administration still stresses local union labor for this project. So we'll continue to do that. So I just want to make that comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roman. Mr. Horniak.
No report, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Horniak. Mrs. Pauloff.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. Pauloff. Mr. Wallenczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wallenczak. Mrs. Ackerman.
Mr. President, I want to remind everyone that on 8/18 at 4 p.m., we will have a tree commission meeting in the public area near the police station. The public is invited. You're welcome to attend. Thank you for bringing up the blood drive. Mr. Mayor, I'm sick of the Red Cross. They're harassing me for my, believe it or not, they want my blood. But I'm saving it for the police station, for your drive. I do want to thank Mr. Roman, Paul Roman, that, for allowing, Farmer Grutz to grow, and feed our community with fresh corn, tomatoes, melons, et cetera. I know the public has been enjoying it, and given the situation, and, you know, it would have been sad that he couldn't do that this year, with everything in the limbo that it has become. Thank you, Mr. Roman, for being thoughtful of that. And that ends my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ackerman. Mr. Andrus.
Mr. President, no report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andrus. Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. President, I don't have anything to report from a committee. However, bear with me. I would like to commend Councilman Walenzak for introducing a new tradition of recognizing the young people in our community that are entering the United States military and bringing them before council. I would like to expand on that by having a prayer of protection said over them if there be no objections. None of us know what they will be encountering throughout their time serving our country. I'm sure that it would be very comforting for them to know that along with their family and friends, they also have a community lifting them up in prayer. So if we could do that at our next time, that would be, I think that'd be a good thing. Commenting on Chief Clayton over there, I'm telling you something, that was a really good game. And like the mayor said, you know, they must have had the weather on their side to win. But Chief Clayton, I'm telling you, when you ripped one out there and you ran to first base, I never saw anybody run like that. It was almost mechanical, and every step was decisive. I mean, you were just gone. So I just wanted to commend you for that. Also, one more thing I'd like to add, some hope and encouragement to this evening's meeting. We have been hearing for quite some time that if there was something other than a data center out there to help us with our financial woes, then let's hear it. Well, there is an idea that is being considered that will bring a smile to most people's faces, young and old. It will hopefully provide a new revenue stream and possibly a couple hundred jobs. I can assure you that there won't be $2 billion dangling in front of it. However, I believe that it will help bring a divided community together and work towards a better tomorrow. Please keep praying and trusting in God to provide all of our needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Anything else? Good?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, yep.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yep, you're welcome. I have no reports. The only thing I'd like to do is thank everybody for coming out. It was a long meeting, which is fine. There's a lot of business to take care of, and I want to recognize these two little guys up front playing on their Game Boy and cracking their, they didn't share their cookies with us. I wanted some cookies, but you guys ate them, but they were good, and everybody have a good night and be safe. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. President.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Mrs. Paul, seconded by Mr. Gibbs. Meeting's adjourned.